Welcome in. My name is the soft-spoken scientist, and today we're going to take this slowly and calmly. If math has ever stressed you out, breathe. This space is built to help you feel safe, relaxed, and confident in your math skills. We're starting with the foundation of algebra, one-step equations. I'll write everything out, walk you through it gently, and you can follow along at your own pace. So let's talk about addition and subtraction equations, okay? So we have x plus 7 equals 12. Now, a lot of times on your guys' exams, it'll just say solve for x, right? And you might not always know what to do. So when you see something added to the variable, right, the plus 7, you want to undo it with the opposite side because she says solve for x, right? So you want to have x by itself. So what I'm going to do is ask myself, how do I get x by itself? I have x plus 7, right? I want to minus 7 on both sides. Because what I do on one side, I have to do on the other, right? With these types of equations. So I wrote, because minus 7. So I have x plus 7 minus 7. That will get me 0. So I have x on my left side. And we all know 12 minus 7 is 5, right? Clean solution, x equals 5, all right? Same concept as this, as before. We have x minus 3 equals 11. The question I ask myself is, how do I get x by itself? Well, to get rid of negative 3, I have to say negative 3 plus what will get me 0. I know if I have negative $3, right? If someone gives me $3, I'm no longer in debt. So I'm going to say plus 3. And remember, what we do on one side, we have to do to the other, right? So I'm going to add 3 on both sides. So this cancels out because that's just 0. So I have x equals 14, right? Now, this is the same thing as saying 1x equals 14, by the way. I know some of you may be wondering about that. Oh, did not mean to do that. 1x equals 14, okay? Same thing. Very good. So now we're going to talk about multiplication and division equations, okay? So we have 4x equals 20. And your teacher may say, solve for x. What I want you guys to know about numbers with a letter, like 4y, 4x, right? They don't talk about it a lot. That's why I'm zooming in here. I want you guys to really know what I'm saying here. There's an invisible multiplication sign right there, right? And if you look back at the old problems we did, when we had minus 3, we did the opposite. We added 3. When we had a positive 7, we minused it by 7. Because the opposite of addition is subtraction. The opposite of multiplication is what? Division, right? Great. So I would divide to get x by itself. Okay, I know that I want to know what x is equal to. I don't want to know what 4x is equal to. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4. What I do on one side, I do to the other. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. Or just x. There you go, right? And then I'm going to say it's equal to, what's 20 divided by 4? Well, I know 5 times 4 is 20, right? So x is equal to 5. That's how I was able to accomplish that, all right? 4x means 4 times x. To isolate x, we divide both sides by 4, okay? This is where some students may get a little bit confused, but that's what I'm here for. So we have x over 6 is equal to 2. Now, it looks scarier than this one, but it's still the same principle. I am dealing with a division case here. I know that the opposite of division is multiplication, right? So I have x over 6, but I want to know what x is equal to. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 6, right? And I have 6x all over 6 is equal to 12. What is 6 divided by 6? 1, right? So I just have x is equal to 12. Another way you could see it is you could say, oh, x over 6 times 6 cancels out. Simple as that, because you got 6 in the numerator, you have 6 in the denominator. And for those who don't know, this is a denominator below the sign, below the bar. If you're above the bar, you're a numerator. Okay? So then I have x is equal to 12. What I did on one side, I still did it on the other, guys. I did 6 times 2. Now we're going to move on and talk about negative coefficients, okay? So we have negative 3x equals 9. The negative sign stays with the negative 3. To isolate x, I need to divide by, you guessed it, negative 3. Remember, there's an invisible multiplication sign right there. All right? What is negative 3 divided by negative 3? This may be a little tricky. So we know that a negative number divided by a negative number gets you a positive number. Please drill that into memory, okay? Whether a negative divided by a positive is a negative. Positive divided by a positive is a positive. I mean, if you have 20 divided by 2, you have 10. If you have a positive divided by a negative, it's still a negative. All right? It's a very clear distinction I wanted to make. So negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1. I just brought the x down. It's equal to 9 divided by negative 3. Well, let's look at our magical rules, right? We have a positive divided by a negative. That gets me a negative. 9 divided by negative 3. Well, I know it's the same thing as regular division without the signs. 9 divided by 3 is 3, because 3 times 3 is 9, right? So positive divided by a negative is a negative. That's where that came from. And then 9 divided by 3 is 3. X is equal to negative 3. All right? Now, let's talk about fractions as coefficients. A fraction in front of x means we undo it by multiplying by its reciprocal. The reciprocal of 1 over 4 is 4 over 1, or also known as 4. These are the exact same things. You just flip it. That's literally it, right? So we're dealing with we have multiplication going on there with the parentheses as we see. However, we're dealing still with a fraction. So again, that's when the multiplication comes in. So I'm going to multiply this by 4 over 1. And what I did on one side, I had to do to the other, just right around here. Sorry about that. So what's 4? And we multiply these two numerically. And then these two denominators. We know that 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. So we have 4 over 4 times x. 4 over 4 is a fancy way of saying 1, because anything divided by itself, it's 1. 100 divided by 100, 1. 33 divided by 33, 1, right? So we have 1x, or you could say x, is equal to 4 over 1 times 3. Well, 3 is technically 3 over 1, or just written as 3. Either way you see it. 3 times 4 is 12. 1 times 1 is 1. So you could say the answer is x is equal to 12 over 1 technically, or 12. But I'm sure your teacher would rather have you just say x is equal to 12. If this helped you today, come back for the next one. We're building your confidence step by step at a calm pace that actually makes sense. Remember, STEM is for everyone, especially you. Thank you.